Welcome back to RF Coins. Today, we're diving deep into the United States 1971 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but carries a history, hidden rarities, and market values that might surprise you. Part 2. The year 1971 was a turning point for American coinage. The U.S. Mint was producing coins in massive numbers to meet the growing demand for commerce. The Washington Quarter, featuring the portrait of George Washington and the famous word liberty at the top, had already been in circulation for decades. But certain details about the 1971 quarter make it stand out for collectors. Part 3. The front side of the 1971 quarter, or obverse, features George Washington facing left, with liberty above his head and the phrase "In God We Trust" on the left side. Below his neck is the date 1971. This design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. Part 4. The reverse side, or back of the coin, is equally iconic. It shows a majestic bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows in its talons, a symbol of strength and defense, with an olive branch below, representing peace. Around the top are the words United States of America, and below them, the denomination quarter dollar. Part 5. Now, here's where it gets interesting for collectors. Most 1971 quarters were made from copper-nickel clad, not silver. This was part of the U.S. Mint's decision in 1965 to remove silver from circulating quarters. That means a standard 1971 quarter has no silver content, but still has collectible value depending on condition, errors, and rarity. Part 6. The 1971 quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, but there was no San Francisco business strike. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D on the right side of Washington's hair ribbon. This mint mark difference is important for collectors. Part 7. Inches total, over 350 million quarters were made in 1971. But as every coin collector knows, it's not just about mintage numbers, it's about condition, rarity, and unique errors. Some coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because of special characteristics. Part 8. One of the most valuable types is the 1971 quarter in pristine mint state condition. If a coin has never been used in circulation and has perfect surfaces without scratches or wear, it can be worth far more than its face value. Part 9. Inches. Today's market, a mint state 1971 quarter graded by PCGS or NGC can fetch anywhere between $50 and $500 depending on the grade. The higher the grade, for example, MS67 or MS68, the more valuable it becomes, as these grades are extremely rare for coins of this age. Part 10. There are also error coins from 1971 that are worth big money. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planchets. Collectors are always hunting for these mistakes because they make the coin one of a kind. Part 11. One famous example is the 1971 quarter with a double die obverse, where the date and letters appear slightly doubled under magnification. Some of these have sold for hundreds of dollars depending on the clarity of the doubling. Part 12. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where part of the design is missing because it was struck incorrectly. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date, the more valuable it becomes. Part 13. Sometimes, a 1971 quarter was struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank metal disc was meant for another coin, like a nickel or penny. These rare wrong planchet strikes can bring thousands of dollars at auction. Part 14. So, what's the average value of a 1971 quarter in normal circulated condition? Usually, it's around 25 cents, its face value. But the real money comes from uncirculated and error coins, where the value can range from a few dollars to $898.959 in extremely rare cases. Yes, you heard that right. Part 15. Now, you might be asking, how can a simple 1971 quarter be worth nearly $1 million? Well, some extremely rare specimens have unique features combined with perfect condition and high collector demand, leading to record-breaking auction prices. Part 16. Collectors value these coins not just for their rarity, but for the history they carry. The 1970s were a time of economic change in the U.S., and coins from this era are like time capsules, tiny metal witnesses to history. Part 17. If you have a jar of old coins at home, it's worth taking a close look at any 1971 quarters you might have. Use a magnifying glass to check for mint marks, doubling, or unusual features. Even a small imperfection could mean a big payday. Part 18 Grading is one of the most important factors in determining value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can certify your coin's grade and authenticity, which can greatly increase its market value. Part 19 Another factor is eye appeal, how attractive the coin looks overall. A coin with bright luster, sharp details, and no major marks will always attract more buyers than one that's dull or heavily worn. Part 20 The market for 1971 quarters has been growing in recent years, thanks to increased interest in vintage U.S. coinage. More people are discovering coin collecting as a hobby, driving up demand for high-grade and rare examples. Part 21 Collectors also pay attention to the strike quality. A well-struck 1971 quarter has crisp, sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Weakly struck coins are less desirable unless they have an error or rarity. Part 22 Another tip for collectors is to check for proof coins. While 1971 didn't have circulating silver quarters, proof sets from the U.S. Mint might contain special strikes with mirror-like surfaces that are more valuable. Part 23 Cleaning a coin is a big mistake. Never clean a 1971 quarter if you think it might be valuable. Cleaning can actually lower its grade and reduce its value dramatically. Part 24 If you find a rare 1971 quarter, the best way to sell it is through a reputable auction house or online marketplace with strong buyer protections. This ensures you get the best possible price for your coin. Part 25 At RF Coins, we always recommend researching before selling. Sometimes, holding onto a coin can be a smart move, as values can rise over time. Part 26 The 1971 quarter is not just a piece of metal. It's a part of American history, a collector's treasure, and sometimes, a life-changing discovery for the lucky person who finds a rare one. Part 27 Every coin tells a story, from the hands it has passed through to the events it has witnessed. The 1971 Liberty quarter dollar is no exception, carrying with it decades of history and value. Part 28 So next time you get change from a store, take a moment to check your quarters. Who knows? That simple coin could be worth far more than you think. Part 29 If you enjoyed learning about the 1971 Liberty quarter dollar and want to see more videos about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Part 30 Thank you for joining us today. This is RF Coins, signing, reminding you to always keep your eyes open, because treasures can be hiding in plain sight. Until next time, happy collecting. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1974 Liberty quarter dollar. You might think it is just a regular coin you see in change, but what if I told you some of these are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in the collector's market? Stay tuned, because I am about to tell you the full story of the 1974 quarter, its design, mint marks, rare errors, and most importantly, its current market value that could turn pocket change into real profit. Part 1 The background of the 1974 QURTR The 1974 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The coin was originally meant to be a one-year commemorative issue, but it became so popular that it stayed in production permanently. The 1974 quarter is made primarily of a copper-nickel clad composition, with a copper core and nickel coating, giving it a shiny silver appearance. Part 2 The design front side on the obverse, or front side, we see the powerful and dignified bust of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, a bold reminder of the values the United States was built upon. Beneath his chin, the motto "In God We Trust" is prominently displayed. Below the portrait is the date 1974, which makes this coin instantly recognizable to collectors and historians alike. Part 3 The design back side flip the coin over, and the reverse side displays a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, holding arrows and an olive branch, symbols of strength and peace. Above the eagle are the words United States of America and the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. At the bottom, the denomination quarter dollar is clearly shown. Part 4 The mint locations The 1974 quarter was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins have a small d, and San Francisco coins bear the S mint mark. Each mint location produced millions of coins, but certain varieties and mint errors can make some far more valuable than others. Part 5, Mintage and UMBRS. In total, over 1.2 billion quarters were struck in 1974. Philadelphia minted over 801 million, Denver produced around 353 million, and San Francisco made about 2.6 million proof coins. This huge mintage means most 1974 quarters are common, but as we know in coin collecting, rarity often comes from condition, unique varieties, and minting mistakes. Part 6. Why 1974 is special for Collectibles. The year 1974 stands out because it falls just before America switched to a different coinage design for the bicentennial celebration in 1976. This means many collectors seek out 1974 coins as the last regular design before the bicentennial editions. Part 7. Composition and weight. Each 1974 quarter weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The composition is 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This copper-nickel clad design replaced the 90% silver quarters that were minted up until 1964. Part 8. Value in circulated coin. If you have a 1974 quarter that has been used in everyday transactions, its value is typically around 25 cents to $1. However, if it is in exceptional condition, such as uncirculated or mint state, the value increases significantly. Part 9. Uncirculated coins. Value. An uncirculated 1974 quarter from Philadelphia or Denver can fetch anywhere from $5 to $25 depending on its condition and grading. Collectors are willing to pay more for coins with sharp details and original luster. Part 10. Proof coins. Value. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1974, which were made for collectors and not intended for circulation. These coins, with their mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs, can be worth between $5 and $15 for common proofs, but much more if graded highly by professional grading services. Part 11. Rare mint errors. Error coins are where the big money lies. Some 1974 quarters feature off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or missing letters. Depending on the severity and visibility of the error, these coins can sell for $50, $100, or even over $500. Part 12. Double die obverse. One rare variety is the double die obverse, where the date or letters appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you find a 1974 quarter with clear doubling, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds. Part 13. Full-step details. Collectors also seek 1974 quarters with sharp, full details on the eagle's feathers and Washington's hair. High-grade coins with these strong features are highly desirable. Part 14. Grading. System. The value of any coin is greatly influenced by its grade. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. Even a 1-point difference can dramatically change a coin's value. Part 15. Market trends. In the current coin market, demand for high-grade 1974 quarters is rising, especially among collectors who want complete sets of Washington quarters. Market prices for mint state coins have increased over the last 5 years. Part 16. Auction records. One of the highest prices paid for a 1974 quarter was nearly $900 for a pristine, high-grade example graded MS67 by PCGS. Coins with rare errors have fetched even higher prices. Part 17. How to find valuable 1974 quarters. Search through your pocket change, old coin jars, or family collections. Check each quarter carefully under good lighting and use a magnifying glass to look for errors and mint marks. Part 18. Storage and CR. If you find a valuable 1974 quarter, store it in a protective holder to prevent scratches or tarnishing. Avoid cleaning coins, as this can lower their value. Part 19. Investment potential. The 1974 quarter may not seem rare at first glance, but its potential for value growth is strong, especially for rare errors and high-grade coins. Part 20. Collector community. Coin collecting is more than a hobby, it's a community. Join online forums, attend coin shows, and connect with other collectors to share knowledge and discover opportunities. Part 21 Role in American history. Why the 1974 quarter is more than currency. It is a symbol of America's heritage, craftsmanship, and the artistry of coin design. Part 22 Different varieties. Look for varieties like the Type 1 and Type 2 proofs, or coins with subtle design differences caused by die changes during the year. Part 23 Spotlight on Denver Mint. Denver Mint 1974. Quarters are known for having stronger strikes and better details, making them more desirable in top condition. Part 24 Spotlight on Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark and tend to have softer strikes, but finding a high-grade example from this mint is still a challenge. Part 25 Spotlight on San Francisco Mint. San Francisco proof coins are the most visually stunning, with sharp contrasts between frosted designs and polished fields. Part 26 Educational value. Collecting coins like the 1974 quarter can teach you about American history, economies. As time goes on, the supply of high-grade 1974 quarters will decrease, which could lead to higher prices for collectors. Part 30 Final word from RFCONS. So the next time you see a 1974 Liberty quarter dollar, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of history worth far more than 25 cents. Here on RF Coins, we always say every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot of money. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can discover the hidden value in their change. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into a coin that might be sitting in your coin jar right now, yet it could be worth far more than face value. We're talking about the 1982 Liberty quarter dollar. This is not just another piece of metal. This is history in your hand, a story of America's economy, minting changes, and rare numismatic finds that have collectors on the hunt every single day. Part 2 The year 1982 in America. To understand why this coin is special, we need to step back into 1982. Ronald Reagan was the President of the United States. The economy was experiencing shifts, inflation was a real concern, and the U.S. Mint was making important decisions about how coins were produced. It was also the year Michael Jackson's Thriller album took the world by storm and the space shuttle Columbia completed its first mission. While history was unfolding in politics, music, and space exploration, the Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of quarters that would quietly become part of this historical tapestry. Part 3 Liberty. On the QUARTR. On the obverse, or the front side of the 1982 quarter, we see the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Above his head is the word Liberty, reminding Americans of the freedoms they enjoy. The motto "In God We Trust" is placed to the left, and the date 1982 is positioned below. The letter P, indicating the Philadelphia Mint, is located just beside Washington's hair ribbon. This was actually the very first year that the Philadelphia Mint started placing the P mint mark on the Washington quarter. Part 4 Why 1982 is unique. 1982 was a turning point for U.S. coinage. It was the year when the mint stopped producing mint sets for circulation coins. This means collectors couldn't simply buy an uncirculated 1982 quarter from the mint in a set. If you wanted one in pristine condition, you had to find it directly in circulation or from a private source. This scarcity of uncirculated coins from 1982 is a major reason why high-grade examples are so valuable today. Part 5 The metal COMPOSITO in the 1982 Liberty quarter is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. That means it has a pure copper core with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs about 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Although the composition is not silver, the coin's historical significance and rarity in certain conditions make it far more valuable than its metal content. Part 6 Mintage NUMBRS. In 1982, the Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 500 million quarters. At first glance, that sounds like a huge number, but remember, coins circulate and wear down quickly. Finding one in mint state condition, especially graded MS-65 or higher, is extremely difficult today. Out of the hundreds of millions minted, only a fraction survive in collectible condition. Part 7. The absence of mint sets. As mentioned earlier, 1982 was one of the years without official U.S. mint uncirculated sets. This had a huge impact on the survival rate of top-grade coins. Collectors often rely on these sets to find flawless examples, but for 1982 p quarters, the only source was circulation. This made untouched, lustrous quarters rare and highly sought after. Part 8. Error coins of 1982 per coins from 1982 p are another exciting area for collectors. You might find off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Some even have missing clad layers, exposing the copper core. These errors can turn a 25-cent piece into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Part 9. The value factor. The value of a 1982 p quarter depends heavily on its condition. In average circulated condition, it might be worth around its face value of 25 cents. However, in high mint state grades, the value jumps dramatically. A well-preserved example in MS-65 can fetch anywhere from $20 to $60. But the real treasures are those graded MS-67 or higher, which can command prices from hundreds to nearly $900 or more. Part 10. The rarest grads coins in MS-68 grade are extremely rare for the 1982 p quarter. These are coins with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and brilliant luster. Auction records have shown such examples selling for prices close to $900, proving that even modern coins can be worth a fortune if they are preserved perfectly. Part 11. Why collectors love this coin. Collectors love the 1982 p Liberty quarter because it combines historical significance, scarcity in high grades, and the thrill of the hunt. Many people enjoy searching rolls of quarters from banks, hoping to find that one shining gem that could be worth far more than its face value. Part 12. How to identify a valuable one. If you want to know whether your 1982 p quarter is valuable, examine it closely under good lighting. Look for sharp details in Washington's hair, no major scratches or nicks, and strong luster. Coins that look like they just left the mint are the ones that bring top dollar. Part 13. Storage and preservation. If you find. Part 19. Why the Philadelphia Mint mark matters. Before 1980, Philadelphia minted quarters had no mint mark. The appearance of the P on this coin marks a small but important change in U.S. coin history. It makes the 1982 p quarter even more interesting to numismatists. Part 20. How to find them. You can search bank rolls, ask local coin shops, check your own pocket change, or attend coin shows. The thrill of finding one yourself is unmatched. Part 21. The role of supply and demand. Because so few high-grade 1982 p quarters exist, demand from collectors far exceeds supply. This is why prices continue to rise, especially for top-graded examples. Part 22. Population reports. Grading companies publish population reports that show how many coins have been graded at each level. For the 1982 p quarter, the number of MS-68 coins is extremely low, adding to their rarity and value. Part 23. Investment potential. Some collectors see high-grade 1982 p quarters as an investment. While no coin is guaranteed to increase in value, the scarcity and collector demand make this coin a strong candidate for long-term appreciation. Part 24. Comparing two other YRs. When compared to other modern quarters, the 1982 p stands out because of the lack of mint sets, the first use of the p mint mark on quarters, and its difficulty in finding top grades. Part 25. Common misconceptions. Some people think every 1982 p quarter is worth hundreds of dollars. That's not true. Only coins in exceptional condition or with rare errors hold high values. Part 26. Look out for strong strikes. A strong strike means all the details are sharp and clear. Many 1982 p quarters were weakly struck, so strong strike examples are worth seeking out. Part 27. The role of luster. Luster is the natural shine that comes from the minting process. Coins with original luster are much more valuable to collectors than dull or worn pieces. Part 28. Market current value. As of now, average circulated 1982 p quarters may be worth face value, while higher grades can fetch $20 to $60 in MS-65. $150 to $400 in MS-67, and close to $898 to $959 for the rare MS-68 examples. Error coins can go even higher depending on rarity. Part 29, Final tips for collectors: always handle coins by the edges, never the faces. Avoid touching them with bare fingers to prevent oil damage. And remember, patience is key. Coin collecting is a journey, not just a quick find. Part 30, CONCLUSO and the 1982 P Liberty Quarter Dollar is proof that not all treasures are made of gold or silver. Sometimes, the most valuable finds are the ones hiding in plain sight. So check your change, explore those rolls, and keep the hunt alive. Who knows? The next coin you discover could be worth far more than 25 cents. This is RF Coins, and we'll keep bringing you the stories, history, and values behind America's most fascinating co. Today we are going deep into the world of the 1989 United States quarter dollar, also known as the Liberty Quarter. You might think this coin is just another ordinary quarter, but stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you will learn how some of these coins are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in today's collector market. Part 2, the year 1989 in U.S. coinage. The year 1989 was an interesting time in American coin history. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins, but the economy, design features, and minting technology were creating subtle differences that collectors now hunt for. Among them, the Denver Mint's 1989 quarter holds a special place. Part 3, what is the 1989 Liberty Quarter? This coin is a 25-cent piece struck in copper-nickel clad composition, with a copper core and a nickel outer layer. It features the classic Washington quarter design, showing the portrait of George Washington on the obverse with the word Liberty at the top, the mint year 1989 at the bottom, and the D mint mark just beside the bow in Washington's hair. Part 4, the reverse design. The reverse of the 1989 quarter shows the majestic bald eagle with its wings spread, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. Above the eagle is the inscription United States of America and the motto E pluribus unum, and at the bottom is the denomination quarter dollar. Part 5, who designed the 1989 quarter? The obverse portrait was designed by John Flanagan, whose work has been on the quarter since 1932. The eagle reverse was also designed by Flanagan, remaining a symbol of American pride until the state quarter program began in 1999. Part 6, mint locations for 1989 quarters. In 1989, quarters were struck at two primary mints, Philadelphia, without a mint mark, and Denver, with the D mint mark. Our focus today is on the Denver issue, which had a total mintage of over 896 million coins. Part 7, common features of the 1989 quarter. Most 1989 quarters have a strong strike, clear mint mark, and sharp details. However, due to circulation wear, most coins you find in your change will be in lower grades and worth face value. But that's not the whole story. Part 8, the role of condition in value. Collectors value coins by their grade, which measures wear and preservation. A circulated 1989 quarter is worth 25 cents, but a high-grade uncirculated coin, especially one graded MS-67 or higher, can be worth hundreds of dollars. Part 9, why high-grade 1989 quarters are rare. Most 1989 quarters entered circulation quickly, and because of the high mintage, few people saved them. This means that finding one with no scratches, no bag marks, and a perfect strike is very challenging today. Part 10, proof and special strikes. The 1989 quarter was not made as a proof coin, but San Francisco produced proofs for collectors. The Denver Mint coins were business strikes intended for everyday use, but rare errors and high grades make them collectible. Part 11, valuable errors to watch for. Look for double dies, center strikes, clipped planchets, and wrong planchet errors. These mistakes can raise the value from a few dollars to several hundred or more. Part 12, the famous double die obverse. One known error on some 1989 D quarters is a double die on the obverse, where Liberty or the date appears doubled under magnification. This is highly collectible. G planchet errors. Some quarters were accidentally struck on planchets meant for other denominations, like nickels. These are extremely rare and can fetch thousands. Part 16. Grading. The 1989 D quarter professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins and assign grades. An MS67 1989 D quarter can bring strong auction prices because of its rarity in that grade. Part 17. Auction records. 1989 D quarter graded MS67 by PCGS sold for over $1,200 at auction, proving that even modern coins can be valuable in pristine condition. Part 18. Current market value today. The 1989 D quarter in circulated condition is worth face value, but in MS65 it can sell for $10 to $25, MS66 for $75 to $150, and MS67 for $800 or more depending on demand. Some rare errors can bring values over $5,000. Part 19. Spotting gems in pocket change. Check your change under good lighting. Look for coins with full luster, no scratches, and a strong strike. Even modern coins can be treasures if they are flawless. Part 20. The importance of preservation. If you find a high-grade 1989 D quarter, store it in a protective holder to prevent scratches and tarnish. Keeping coins safe is key to maintaining value. Part 21. Collectors' demand for the 1989 D. While not as famous as silver quarters, the 1989 D attracts collectors who aim to build complete Washington quarter sets, including all mint marks and years. Part 22. How the coin market works. Coin values depend on rarity, demand, and condition. Even a common date like 1989 D can become valuable when combined with rarity in high grade or unique errors. Part 23. Why modern coins can be valuable. Many collectors overlook modern coins, but as time passes, untouched examples become harder to find, increasing their market value. Part 24. How to sell a valuable 1989 D quarter. If you find a rare variety or high-grade coin, consider selling through an auction house or reputable online marketplace. Get it graded first to maximize the price. Part 25. Avoiding fake errors. Some people alter coins to mimic rare errors. Always verify authenticity through experts before paying high prices. Part 26. Building a complete Washington quarter collection. The 1989 D is part of the broader Washington quarter series. Building a complete set is a fun challenge and a great way to appreciate U.S. history through coinage. Part 27. Comparing with other years. Compared to earlier quarters, the 1989 D has no silver content, but in pristine condition, it can still command strong prices similar to some older coins. Part 28. The joy of coin hunting. Searching through change, coin rolls, or inherited collections can be exciting. You never know when a valuable 1989 D quarter will appear. Part 29. Final tips for collectors. Use magnification, research online auction results, and stay informed about current market trends to identify valuable coins. Part 30. Closing words from RF Coins. Here at RF Coins, we believe every coin tells a story. The 1989 D United States quarter dollar is more than just 25 cents, it's a piece of history, a potential treasure, and a reminder that value can be hiding in plain sight. So next time you get change, take a closer look. Who knows, you might just be holding a small fortune in your hand.